Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a Xander Brand podcast. All thoughts, actions, opinions, and/or endorsement are those of the person or persons in this podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Full Force Podcast. After some technical difficulties, we're here. We're doing this. Last week we didn't do it because I had like a situation with my mouth. It's kind of better now, and we're rolling good now.
What happened with your mouth?
So I get like these ulcers really bad, like all the time. No matter how good I'm like doing the dental hygiene stuff, I get it bad. So like I have like two right here and then like one down here, and it hurts miserably. But one of them is healing up pretty well. I have some mouthwash stuff that like helps take the stuff away. I did previously whenever
It smell like Listerine or something. That'll like
yeah, it's I don't recall what brand it is, but like it's an actual thing for mouth sores. I was on like this like medicine cream type thing for it.
yeah.
Back a long time ago, but obviously like that was a long time ago, so I don't have that medicine anymore because like it clears up and then it'll come back later. So that really sucks.
Yeah.
But it happened. Or I didn't want to like show up with like a like swollen lip because my lip was like really swollen, and I was like, I'm not gonna be on a podcast with a swollen lip.
Yeah, you gotta
So
be
yeah, how
peak performance.
yeah, and you don't want to look stupid on a podcast. So like so how was your week then, Aiden?
It's been okay. I I went and saw a movie actually in the theater. Now, that's a big change, for like the first time I've done that in 8 months or something. So that's pretty crazy.
What movie
Yeah.
was it?
It was a Tenet. It was like this movie where they were trying to stop World War III from happening, but it was so weird because it had stuff to do with like time travel and like they figured out a way to like invert bullets and stuff, and like you went to another reality, and it was really weird. You couldn't make any sense of it, and it was also like extremely loud too, like probably one of the loudest movies I've really ever heard. But it was okay. It was cool to go out.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've like really learned. Like, no matter how much you have to have, where was it? I saw earlier. No matter how much you have to have your mask, or some places require you to have gloves. No matter how much that stuff exists, it's still great to get out. Like, I went on vacation 2 weeks ago. I went on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and it's fun. Even though like we had to follow all the safety protocols and stuff. Like, yeah, I still got in the ocean. Yeah, I still got in a chlorine-filled pool. But those things are nice and well, the ocean's not nice and clean, but the ocean's never been nice and clean. But yeah, it was kind of nice because we were able to get around a lot. And do stuff. We went to like this really good buffet, and that goes back to the glove thing.
Went
Because
to the
like no,
buffet.
at buffets now, you have to have
Yeah,
at
I
buffets you
thought
have
that
to
was
have gloves
I
now.
thought Golden Corral was like permanently like done for now because of like just germs and stuff. Like that was gonna be like a lasting effect of you know because of people touching the same food and forks and stuff.
Yeah, I was really surprised that buffets were open. Like especially down there, we went. Excuse me. We went to like the seafood buffet. They also had like other stuff because I don't eat seafood. but like it was expensive, but it was really good. There's a lot of like really good seafood buffets down there. And then on our way back home, we actually stopped by this. It was actually pretty cheap. I forgot the Mammy's, I think. It's really good. They have this really good like breakfast buffet. Oh, it's so good. I loaded up on some bacon, man. I'm a bacon person, and I was able to just load up on bacon. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bacon person. I'm not literally made out of bacon, but like I love bacon so much. If I could have two meats the rest of my life, it would be bacon and steak.
Bacon and steak. I'd probably have to go with chicken, because chicken, you can do a lot with chicken.
Really?
Yeah, well, steak is good too, but
That's
like steak
true.
is more expensive, and you can't really just go like more fast food restaurants. They're gonna have better chicken stuff. Like Zaxby's, that's good chicken,
That's
but if
true.
I couldn't eat chicken again, I couldn't have Zaxby's. Or, like my friends, they go to this place called 24-Hour Chicken, and it's a good chicken place too, and I wouldn't even be able to go there. It's 24-hour chicken.
No, I got you. I got you. Chicken's okay. I
It depends on who's
whenever
cooking it.
I was younger, we used to have chicken a lot. Like my father loves chicken. Like that is probably his favorite meat. Which is strange because
Well,
he's a butcher. Like and chicken is his favorite meat. I don't know. I can deal with chicken. Like I'm not really that big of a fan of anything but like fried chicken. Like I'm not a fan of
right.
barbecue chicken
Well,
unless you do it right. And then I mean there's I'm more of a fan of fried chicken
yeah.
because like I would, even though they hate gay people, I love Chick-fil-A, man. Chick-fil-A is great.
Chick-fil-A, yeah,
Not the
you
company
you're
itself, but their
right.
food is great.
Yeah. I
They
mean, you
hate
still
gay
can't
people.
really,
So
yeah, you still can't really go wrong with like a good steak, though. That's what I'm saying. But depending on who's cooking the chicken, it'll be good chicken most of the time. Like, if it's kind of like, I don't know how to say it, kind of like shreddy, like almost gritty, like white chicken. That's not really the greatest. That's not really where you want to go. But going somewhere,
I like shreddy chicken, but not like grainy. I
yeah,
get what you're
yeah,
saying, but I do like the shredding chicken. As long as it has like that moisture to it, it is good.
yeah, it's all right.
Wow, use that as clickbait. As long as it has the moisture, it's good. I was just thinking of all the ways that I can market just that clip on like all the social media places. Like, oh, it's good. It's nice whenever it's good and moist, and then Aiden's like, yeah, yeah, it's good. Like,
Oh, it's good. Oh yeah.
oh my gosh, I
You're
forgot to
trying to
open the podcast. I forgot to open the podcast, but this is the place where we stand the D'Amelios because of because of last episode with you and
wait, what
Logan.
was?
Remember last episode, like we were doing like our inspiration list.
Yeah,
Roll the
inspiration.
clip. We were doing our inspiration list, and you go Charlie D'Amelio, and then
Hey,
Logan
that was
told
that
everybody that you're always talking about the D'Amelios.
no, that was a joke. That was a joke. I honestly don't really
He
care
said
about.
he wasn't joking. He was saying that he really wasn't joking. That you
No,
really talk about the
well,
D'Amelios all the
yeah,
time.
that's what he would say. He would say that. That's like that's pretty much what he's trained to do, is to say, "Oh yeah, Aiden really likes Charlie D'Amelio." I don't really. I was just trying to say,
Not a bad person. She's pretty chill. She's pretty chill.
probably not. Yeah,
She doesn't deserve the hate that she gets, but like I
it's just
stand
all like
Charlie.
these
Charlie's
other.
pretty chill.
It's all these other younger girls who are like, you. How can I become famous for just like doing a little boogie on the TikTok, and then well, they can't do
Yeah,
it.
and then you get little girls shaking their butts and it's like, I'm uncomfortable with this. This makes me want to die. That is the uncomfortable side of TikTok. Like um no, because like I'll see that there's a lot of little children on TikTok.
Yeah,
Like,
there
especially whenever like the WAP trend went around.
the WAP. Yeah,
Like, oh my gosh, I did it because I thought it would be funny and I thought people would enjoy it because it's funny. But I'm
yeah,
also not like 12 years old. You know, I'm
yeah,
like that is crazy.
yeah.
Why do 12-year-olds spend their time on TikTok like shaking their butts?
What else are gonna do right now? I mean, why not? It's like it's social
What were you
status.
doing whenever you were 12?
When I was 12, well, they're doing more than I ever would have when I was 12. I'll tell you that. I didn't do anything
Exactly.
when I was 12.
Well, I was hosting podcasts whenever I was like
Yeah,
4.
you were really
So
hosting,
like,
like
so
reporting the weather
like,
and stuff like that. I was just like, I might
oh,
have made.
me, yeah. No, I see like children doing a lot of stuff nowadays, and I'm like, if those opportunities were just there, like how cool would that have been? I believe
Yeah,
Charlie is actually on a list of, and I'm not sure if we talked about this during the episode, but Charlie's on a list of billionaires, and it's how like a lot of people are really happy that she's on there. People like her and a lot of the other TikTok people because they've made their money not by exploiting other people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and all the other like super big millions. You
yeah.
feel me? Like they've gotten this money, but not from like doing stupid stuff, exploiting people, and you know
They
they
just,
don't have like lawsuits against them for discriminating against people, unlike our president
on the
and a lot of
internet,
other stuff.
they just dance and get sponsored, and people will pay. Maybe like they have I won't say OnlyFans, but they got like a
Yeah, no, not Charlie. Charlie does not. Well, OnlyFans, and it gets me because people are like, "Oh, OnlyFans is like an adult It's not. Like that's not even what it was made for. It was made for like behind the scenes stuff. But of course,
yeah,
they
originally
didn't
behind the
ban.
scenes stuff,
They
but
didn't.
then
They
people,
didn't ban. They don't
yeah,
ban pornographic content. But like that's not what it was originally for. Just like Twitter, you could like post full on, nude pictures and
yeah,
like it's totally fine. But nobody's going, oh well, Twitter's this place for like adult content. No, OnlyFans is for behind the scenes stuff, and a lot of people don't
people
understand
just,
like it's not just
yeah, they
porn.
found it was a way to, for anybody to make money, anyone. Like honestly, I swear, if you're just like a woman, like even just like a mildly attractive woman in 2020 and beyond, you've already got your career there for you. You just need like a Twitch stream and an OnlyFans, and you're pretty much good.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about having more people on the internet is like it's super oversaturated. Like there's people that will look at numbers like for YouTube and for stuff like that, and they'll look at the numbers and they'll be like, it's next to impossible to become this big name. You know, I it's so hard because everything's oversaturated, and even like you were mentioning Twitch has like the biggest list of live streaming people because, going back to the exploitation thing, they've exploited the system
Yeah,
and, basically they have a monopoly over live streaming. Like Mixer came into place, people were like, "Oh, Mixer's really cool," and then Mixer shut down. And it's like, "Oh crap! Well, we have 3 platforms: you have Twitch, YouTube Live, Facebook gaming, and like neither one of those two
but
are as
people will
good
like
as
the.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
YouTube
it's
comes
easy for
close.
people now to like just completely boycott a service. Like, people were getting mad at Twitch for a while because of like, I don't know, Alinity and stuff. And I mean, there's every reason to get mad at Alinity, but she's like extremely favored by Twitch, and that just makes anyone else on Twitch, they just can't really do it. And then there's all like, like the YouTube algorithm lately, especially, it's been weird as crap. I'll get weird like Indian videos sent to my recommended, and I've never watched an Indian video. It just, crazy.
I think the best platform for algorithms that there is TikTok. 1000%, because the stuff on my
Yeah,
for you
and
page is
YouTube.
like, yes, I watch and I follow people that are just like that these videos fit, you know? It's not like getting some weird recommendations or anything like that. You know, the thing is, to be honest, like you said, it is easy to boycott like Twitch because there's alternatives. But boycotting YouTube is really hard because like there's no other
Yeah,
good alternatives. Because whenever YouTube first started, it there weren't many things like it. Nobody was trying it. But now that Google owns YouTube and more people are trying it, it becomes so hard to make something like YouTube.
yeah.
I mean, if you look at
Well,
people
didn't you
like
like?
TikTok, they took advantage of Vine, dropping from the market. They're like, cool, short form content, we can make this a thing. Obviously, Byte was created by one of the same guys that made Vine, but he was trying for so long, and TikTok was just like, hey, let's just buy out this like Musically app and let's just do something with it.
Well, didn't you at one time like you didn't you quit YouTube for a month or a week or so and just move to Twitch? Like you uploaded your stuff on
I
Twitch and you streamed.
I tried. I almost did that. I was actually going to do that with the Xander Brand stuff at some point, back before it was all of us all together.
Yeah,
And I was going to do that at some point, but I was like, nah. I personally don't have. Well, I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't use it. Like I'm planning on doing some Twitch streams and some stuff like that. I like Twitch, but once there's a good enough alternative, I will be moving to that alternative. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, Twitch all the way. There's this thing, Luna, which is on the way out. It kind of rode off the coattails of Brime, which Brime sucks. Brime can go fall in a hole.
oh, Brian.
Um, oh, they've gotten into a lot of controversy recently because like they had like personal information get out and stuff, and I got banned from their Discord for calling them out. Um, but yeah, so I actually offered to help them. I was like, hey, I know what it's like to like be involved with like mismanaged things. I want to try to help you guys, and like nobody ever really came to it. And then I called him out, and they're like banning him. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was stuff like that, and I'm just like, Brian's not going to work, but this Lunar thing, oh man, I hope Lunar does really good. I've talked to the owners a few times. I've listened to the podcasts that they do. A few other things like that, and having a full service. We won't have like a video on demand thing right off the bat if they do, because that's just like not a thing they're trying to compete with. So what I'm saying is somebody needs to make an alternative to YouTube. Like if Mark
yeah,
Cuban's
that
out
probably
there,
too.
or if some other big billionaire that does good things, not like one that's going to be like YouTube, but if there's like somebody out there that has money to invest in something, it needs to be a YouTube alternative.
Yeah,
Because could you imagine how many people would be switching? Think about TikTok and Triller. Whenever Triller came out, people were moving from TikTok to Triller just because it was this good alternative. I mean, as much as you like to joke around about the D'Amelios, they moved over to Triller. They were like, this is something new, this is something exciting, it's gonna make us bigger. Let's just move over here. Could you imagine what a new service would do? Like something like TikTok, but in like the YouTube format? Could you imagine something like that? Somebody needs to invest
yeah.
in this.
I mean,
Somebody needs to make this happen, and that's something that happens with alternatives and competitors. Is you got to figure out if somebody's doing something and you want to do something like it, figure out how to make it better. There's tons of examples of this in the world. Think about NFL. Vince McMahon decided I want to compete with this and make the XFL. The Rock owns it, which we don't know where it's going now. Think about I was talking about Vince McMahon. Think about professional wrestling. There was this big behemoth, WWE, and then this company, this billionaire who owns a football team's like, I want to start my own promotion. Now they're like the number
Yeah,
two. Like there are things like if you want to be this big, if you have this idea, you want it to work, find out how to make it better and different. Then after you
yeah,
do that, that's all you have to do. Like because people are gonna be like, I like this better because it's
yeah,
different. I
yeah,
mean, look at something like Triller, where they don't have a direct distribution for musical artists. Like whenever I was getting my music onto TikTok, which it isn't now on, once I was getting my music onto TikTok as like an officially verified music, I was like, how do I get it on Triller and all these other places? And it's like, no, they don't use that. They use like Apple Music and Spotify to tie in directly. And I was like, that's great. My music's already there. So you have to think about things that are like how can I make this different? How can I make this better? And that's something that just that's everything in life, right? Like if your life's going to crap, you're like, how am I gonna make this better? I know what that's like, but yeah, it's like my life's going to crap. How can I make this better?
yeah. Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this. Like, talk about things replacing another platform. What do you think is doing better? Do you think Twitch or Mixer is doing better?
Mixer's dead.
Mixer's dead.
Yeah, I didn't know that you didn't know this. Mixer's like straight up dead. Microsoft pulled the plug on Mixer.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know. There was something going on, and then boom. That's why Ninja's back on Twitch.
What? All right. Okay. I was super
Yeah,
late to that then. Yeah.
Ninja's back on Twitch and everything. Like they straight up have Mixer straight up
Well, they were,
died.
but they were doing like really well when they were up though. That's the
They
thing. Like,
were, and I think there was
Ninja
something to
didn't
do
move
with
over
the
to it. And a lot of other people like Shroud and stuff. And so yeah,
see.
I didn't know
I don't think Microsoft knew what they were doing with it. They're like, Amazon does this thing, we wanted to compete with them. And they were just like,
that.
boom, let's make this happen. I was not a fan of Mixer from the start. Because I was like, yeah, they're just because they didn't do anything different with Mixer. Not really, other than like the moderation and the rules and stuff,
Yeah.
which was a
Well,
big deal with Twitch. But I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, but Twitch started out the same way. Twitch and Mixer's going to end up just like Twitch. They're going to make some big mistake, and it's going to be like, but now they're dead. So they definitely did make a big mistake.
well, Twitch has been making mistakes forever, but they're still around.
Right. Back whenever it was, hold on, what was it? It was two different. It was two different websites originally, and then some. Then they merged or whatever, and Twitch bought them out. I think it was like Justin TV, and I don't know what the other one was, but like it was like a thing, and they merged together. They were doing good. Like if they would have just. But the thing is, it's all about the saturation, right? It's easy to
Yeah.
enforce and to come up with rules whenever there's not like an oversaturation. You're not having to monitor all of this content. And that's like why YouTube had to come up with the demonetization systems, or why YouTube had to come up with the copyright ID system because they couldn't manage all of this stuff. Like, could you imagine how much a lot of different people would have flopped on YouTube back in like 2005 if they would have had the demonetization thing, or if they would have had the thing for content ID and stuff?
Yeah. Like I'm sure during the adpocalypses and stuff, people would have switched very quickly. But there wasn't like you've been saying, there's not really anything else. So they just got to stick with that. And it's probably because YouTube
Right.
just scared every other, platform creator just out of the market. Like I don't know, like yeah, like Red Dead Redemption, they scared off, other gaming companies to make like from making like Western games because it was just like the peak. That's what YouTube is to like the other platforms. It's just like the peak, the top.
Yeah. There's a lot of oversaturation with a lot of different things. Like you said, video games, there's a lot of oversaturation there. Um, but yeah, like, could you imagine if there was a good YouTube alternative? I've been trying to make this work myself, and I've been looking at it. I've been like, it's really costly. Number one, because like you have to have all these servers, and definitely Google has them. That's why they're able to keep running YouTube the way they are, because like they have them, but there's no way you could implement something as huge as YouTube, especially because you also have to do the marketing to get it around to people. You have to like get some big names on, kind of like what Mixer did. But they're Microsoft. They were able to get all these big names in because they're like, hey, we're Microsoft. You guys know us because we make whole computers and phones, and we own Skype. We own all these good things. We're making a streaming service. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll join you guys. Pay me enough money. I'll be exclusive to you guys. I hate exclusivity more than anything. On any platform, exclusivity sucks. Because like ultimately you're just driving and alienating some of your own fans from your own content. And it's
Yeah.
like you're really flopping with that. Also, it gets down to, well, if you're exclusive to this, like if you're exclusive to Twitch, what makes you any different than like an employee of Twitch, right? Like you're making revenue exclusively for Twitch. And you don't get benefits, you don't get any of that stuff. Yeah, sure, you make money to pay for your own stuff, but like, could you imagine somebody making that money on Twitch and making more on other platforms? And see, the thing is, with the oversaturation thing, there's not a lot of content out there. There's Twitch and YouTube, like they're able to coexist. But that's because there's not a lot of content out there. That's like back in the day, you probably could have watched every YouTube channel there was. But
Yeah.
now you can't because there are millions of I don't know the exact stats. It's like 1,000 hours of content put out every single minute on YouTube. There is no way you could watch everything. And that's what is crazy about everything. That's why you're finding new people on YouTube every day. That is why same thing with TikTok. That's why you're finding new people on TikTok every day. I don't even know how many people I'm following on TikTok. Probably a ton. I'm going to pull it up right now and tell you how many people I'm following on TikTok. There are a lot. And it's because I find people every single day that I'm like, oh, wow, this person, that person. I'm following 128 people, and I haven't
Whoa.
even been on TikTok for like 6 months yet. Like, dang. And it's not even like celebrities either. I don't think I have many celebrities on there either, like you would with Twitter and stuff.
Oh, so you
Like,
got
it
genuine
is
people that you
insane
think
how
are cool.
oversaturated everything. Yeah, 128 individual people. I do think there is like 5 to 10 celebrities in total, but that's because I found them on my For You page with TikTok,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. It's crazy how all of that turns out too. I'm like, because it looks like they need more followers. They're wanting to do this really cool thing. They're getting pressured by their parents. My parents said if I did this,
Oh,
then I'll get
yeah.
to drop out of college. If I get
Those,
this many
those are
followers,
like,
I'll get to drop out of college,
yeah,
or
but
I'll
those
get to
those can
build
be
this dream
scams
business.
like 50% of the time. Like on, I mean, like on YouTube
Right.
too. Like, people are like, hey, my mom said if I get 300 subscribers, I can get a new puppy. I really want a new puppy, so please give me 300 subscribers. And they don't upload a single video. They just want a pup, or they just want their subscribers. They're not actually getting a puppy.
Yeah. And TikTok is similar, but the thing is, people are more genuine on there. Like, you feel like you're more connected to people. Like, I was talking to some of my family the other day. We were talking about how social media affects us, and like people who built social media platforms are like, I know how it works, but it still pulls me in. Like, it seems genuine, you seem connected to these people until you're ultimately like, man, I this is really fun. I want to talk to this person. You go to like message them or something, and like they never respond. It's like, holy cow, this is. I get into that a lot where I'm like, oh yeah, this person's like really, doesn't have a lot of people. I know people that are in the same place as them. Let me just go message them and be like, hey, what's up? And you never get anything from them. That's why whenever I'm creating stuff, I'm always responding to people no matter what. I'm like, hey, I know what it is to be that person. Like, I really like your stuff. I want to have a conversation with you. You know, somebody messaged me the other day, and it was like they had messaged me something about, and it was an inside joke about one of my videos on TikTok/Instagram Reels and all those other places, and it was a joke about a hairy butthole. How I remind people of the hairy butthole. They messaged me, "Hey, you remind me of a hairy butthole," because I had said on there, I was like, "Stop messaging me." Stop messaging me or telling me that I remind you of a hairy butthole. It's a good roast or something like that. I was like, is this in regards to my video? They were like, yeah. They're like, you don't remember the butthole. I was like, this is funny. Like, imagine people engaged with their audiences more, you know? Like, I know people like on YouTube, like Mr. Beast. He definitely does that. PewDiePie, he does Loi. There's definitely a lot of people that interact with their people, but I, to, you don't know how much you're connected to somebody, right? Like back in the day before the internet, like nobody was like, dude, I could like totally have a conversation with this celebrity. No, nobody was like that because that's not a thing that you could easily do. I could message a celebrity the same way I can message you, Aiden, but there's no way that they're going to respond to me because they get millions of DMs every day. They're not going to actually respond. I can tell you right now, most of like the message requests I get on Instagram, I ignore because most of them are spam. But like, could you imagine how people back in the day trying to have conversations with celebrities, like writing them I know people do this. I know people did this. They would write them letters and they would have conversations with them back
Yeah,
and forth. Did you know Bob Ross used to like straight up have conversations with people through letters?
I didn't know that. I know that like
It is
Logan.
insane. But yeah, Bob
Yeah,
Ross.
Logan and I we sent a letter to John Travolta.
Yeah, Bob
We didn't
Ross
get anything
would
back, but
literally
it's
he
just kind of
would
funny
there
that
there was this thing
we
where it's
tried
like,
that
oh,
at least.
whenever people that would usually write into the show would stop, writing in, he would send them letters and make sure they were okay. Like, could you imagine if somebody did that to
He was
everybody on social media?
yeah, he was a good guy.
Yes, he was. What if he was? And I know this theory goes around, and I do like the thing like don't disrespect the dead. But could you imagine if he would have been a serial killer, like kind of like a Ted Bundy situation where people are like, oh yeah, this guy's pretty chill, and like, oh my god, he could have been a serial killer. What he painted could have been locations of dead bodies, the things that he could have said, what he said. Imagine.
Yeah,
Like people went to school with Ted Bundy. People said Ted Bundy was like super charismatic. There was this Reddit post that was like,
they
"Oh,
did
my
say that.
dad used to work with Ted Bundy." Yeah, this Reddit post was like, "Oh, my dad used to work with Bundy," and he would say like, "See you later, see you on Monday, Bundy," and like, how did my dad not get killed? Like, oh my god, like the amount the scary thing of how we are more connected to like bad people in society than we are celebrities and people that are on like social media, people that we follow, people that we see in our daily lives. We're more connected to serial killers than them.
Yeah,
And that's just what's crazy about it. Like, yeah, I know I could go take this picture of this celebrity, which I have taken a picture with a celebrity before, and like, then you're like,
which
oh, cool. Uh, it doesn't matter. I've taken a
yeah,
picture with a celebrity, and
yeah.
like,
I think the Xander fans want to hear it.
but
I,
no, so like,
I took a
straight up,
picture with
we would.
the guy that voiced Beast Boy in the Teen Titans Go and Teen
That's
Titans.
cool.
Greg Sykes. He
That
had
is
a little dog
cool.
too. Maybe I'll like post a
That is
picture or something.
cool.
You can do something with it, but Yeah.
You should. You should. But yeah, no. So I took a picture with three professional wrestlers: Brandy, Cody, and Dustin Rhodes. Like they're like top of the line, like big names. And like,
Oh
no,
yeah,
I would
yeah,
never
yeah.
have. Yeah, I would never have a conversation with them. Like same way, like if I have like people on my social media, 99% of the people on my social media, I'm not gonna have a conversation with. Even people that I go to school with. Like, I'm not gonna have a conversation with them ever, but I follow them. Like,
Yeah.
the way that our social activity is so messed up is so strange.
Yeah, it is, you know, in a
I
lot
want
of.
to go ahead.
No, I was just saying it is in like a lot of different ways.
Make sure to follow us on social media so that you can keep up to date with us. Watch XB on Twitter, Facebook.com/the Xander Brand.
XB on
Where
Twitter.
else? Instagram. You guys can check us out on Instagram as the underscore Xander Brand. You guys can also go on our Discord because we don't have enough people on our Discord, do we, Aiden? We do not have enough people on our
We don't have enough
Discord.
on our Discord. Nah, yeah, you should go
Go
on the
to
Discord.
xanderbrand.nl/discord. It's that simple. I didn't want to like give a full Discord invite code because that's stupid. You guys can literally go there. It'll add you to our server. You guys can communicate with us. Yes, we were talking about communicating people. We will legitimately communicate with our
You're right.
people.
We'll talk.
So join
We'll
the
be
Discord.
yeah, we'll be friends.
Join the Discord,
Join the
please.
Discord.
We're lonely. But
No
yeah,
kidding.
no.
Man. He's
Yeah,
lonely.
so I am so lonely. I'm singing so out of key, the content ID won't pull this down. I am so lonely. Oh man, my
Yeah.
stuff is on content ID now. Did you know that? Like, it's
Yeah, I
crazy.
did hear about that.
The distribution of all my stuff is insane now. Like before, it would like put it on Spotify, Apple Music, but now I'm like pro. I have a pro distribution plan. And so now all my stuff is across millions of platforms like TikTok. TikTok literally has an artist page for me. Like it is
Yeah.
crazy. It is crazy. So if somebody were to make something with my music in it, I would get money off of it. It's great. If you guys would like to go do that, I actually created a record label, Aiden. Did you
No,
know
I
that?
didn't know that.
I now have a record label. I created a record label. We're not doing much. But yeah, so it is insane. I'm dealing with the Xander brand, the label, possibly getting a job if I can find one that'll hire me, school, and anything else that
Wow.
comes with that, like doing the individual shows here on Xander brand. Me and Logan are working on a show together. Well, he's writing it, to probably just be producing it. But yeah, so it's really interesting. It's really interesting to see how much stuff I'm doing now. I did mention the record label, and I don't like plugging my own stuff on the Xander brand stuff, but I'm gonna plug it because I'm not. Go to Musify, Musify group.cf, and you guys can literally, if you like making music, if you want to make music, you guys can go apply to the Musify group, and it's
Yeah.
royalty,
Xander's in
royalty. Wow, Cro-
Xander's in the Empire
what's the word?
business.
Crap, I can't even say it.
Yeah.
Cruelty
Royalty
free.
free.
I don't make any money off of anything
Yeah.
that I do. Hopefully one day I will, and it'll be a lot.
Royalty.
Cruelty free music. Like nobody's gonna be locking you into contracts. Nobody's gonna be making you do stuff you don't want to do. It's great. So be sure to go join that if you'd like. I'm trying to figure out what to do for the rest of the time that we have left. I think this
Could be.
episode is going to be cut a little shorter than usual because, like, we're not going to always have this podcast in an hour because we're not always going to have an hour's long content to talk about. That's why we always go in with some ideas of stuff to kind of talk about. Well, I do. I don't know if Aidan does, but I'm always like, well, I might want to talk about this thing. I might want to talk about this thing. Well, if Aidan has something interesting happen, I can expand the episode just based on that little
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And it's so great.
I'll just
Because
do some
back
more
whenever I was
interesting things in my
back
life with
working on the Just Talking,
so we can talk about it on um Xander Brand podcast, full force.
we're not going to be risking
Yeah.
our life
Well, maybe,
for things to
you know what they
happen.
say, do it for the vine. Yeah, we could do.
Oh man,
Maybe I'll
man,
meet
that
up
just
with.
hit hard. I was on Vine as well. I had Vine content.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
what happened to any of it, but I had a Vine content as well. Oh my gosh, I need to try to figure that out. I know Twitter owns it and Twitter has like an archive somewhere, so I need to figure out if I can go find that Vine, the Vines that I made. I only made like 5, but like I want to go see what my stuff was like back then. I don't have a lot of stuff from whenever I was younger. Like I know I did stuff on the internet, but a lot of it has been wiped from the face of the earth, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh no. I have a hard drive that might have stuff on it. I know I have a trip to Washington D.C. on a hard drive somewhere that I
Trip to
vlogged. I straight up vlogged it, and it was while I was in fifth grade.
fifth grade. Was it like a
Like, yeah,
like a school trip?
yeah, it was a field trip. We took a school trip
Oh,
to D.C. So like, dude, I can only imagine what that vlog looks like. Like I vividly remember the trip because like that's the only like big place I've
yeah.
been. But like I could only imagine what stuff like that. Think about like whenever you were younger, could you imagine stuff whenever you were younger? Like I know you didn't do anything whenever you were younger, but could you imagine could you imagine just watching videos of the stuff that you did whenever you were younger?
I mean, it would be like both. I mean, cringy for one, but then also it'd be like, wow, I did this, but then, I mean, if you kind of successful, 5 years or so into the future, you'll be like, oh well, look where I am now.
Imagine Mr. Beast watching his old videos, like how much he cringes, but like his
Ooh, that's
old
right.
videos got him his success.
Yeah,
And now he just uses it for charity, which is just so great. He's such a great person.
yeah,
I
he
kind
is.
of feel bad because whenever we were on the inspirations list, I cut him short. Like I really cut Mr. Beast short off my
You just put him
list.
in honorable mentions, I think.
I put him in my honorable mentions, but like I totally had forgotten about him until during the episode, and I was like, Mr. Beast,
Mr.
Mr.
Beast.
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like oh man, I could have totally put him there instead of like people like Miranda sings. Like I definitely could have had him on there instead of her.
Yeah.
Um,
Instead of yeah.
yeah, so
Sometimes I gotta wonder, like, what if Mr. Beast is actually just living like a
did
life?
whenever you were younger, how crazy it would be
Yeah.
to watch and like just be in that content of stuff whenever you were younger. Like I know I have some stuff from whenever I was younger, and I'll go back and I'll cringe at it, but like I'm thinking like whenever I was in 4th grade making a podcast, whenever I was 4 years old making a podcast, whenever I was in 5th grade doing that DC vlog, like, could you imagine content that me and my brother made on our very original gaming YouTube channel that got me into making
Oh
YouTube
yeah.
videos? Like, I could only imagine there was a video of us eating ramen noodles while he played a video game. There was content of him just playing video games while sitting there on the side. This like little beefy computer recording it from the webcam, crappy quality. Like I can only imagine going back and being like, holy crap. Like not only myself, but like thinking back to me and my brother's channel, like I can only imagine going back and seeing my brother. He was about my age. Well, he was actually a little bit younger. Like going back to being like, whoa, that's what he was like whenever he was closer to my age. Like, whoa, could you imagine? Like it's like seeing old family photos, you know? Except they're in video, so you hear everything about you. You see everything about you. One day we're gonna have our children are gonna have a thing where they can VR their life. Like, could you imagine that? Could you imagine how what technology our children are gonna have, where they're gonna be like able to VR their own life? Like they're gonna be go through a
Oh
timeline of
yeah.
their own life. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I thought about
Like
that some.
our parents didn't have the ability to watch videos of themselves, not really, unless it was like little tapes. And like I can go back and watch my parents' wedding
Yeah.
because like they had it on VHS, but like other than like super memorable moments, there was nothing that they could really, watch of themselves. We have the ability to watch tons of videos of ourselves, see tons of pictures of ourselves. Imagine what our children are gonna have. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, be sure to follow us on social media, be able to figure it out, or you're fired. I had to get the Trump impression in there. I had
Yeah.
to get the
What?
Trump impression.
Trump impression.
I love doing Trump impressions. It's great.
All right.
China, China.
That's really good,
Grab
man.
her, grab her by the shit. No, 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 no. But yeah, so we're vibing, guys. Be sure to check us out next week as well because like it's gonna be fun. We're probably gonna do more entertaining stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been the
Yeah.
Full Force Podcast. I've been Xander. He has been Aiden. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.